Finding closure after a breakup, your guide to moving on. Have you ever been stuck in that emotional limbo after a breakup? You know, that feeling when logically, you know it's over, but emotionally, something inside you just won't let go? Maybe it's the memories you shared, the what-ifs that keep swirling in your mind, or even the fear of facing the future alone. It's like a part of you is still holding on, hoping for something to change. But here's the truth, and it's a truth that's going to set you free. Closure isn't something someone else gives you. It's not a gift they can offer, a word they can say, or a magic button they can press. True closure, the kind that allows you to genuinely move forward, comes from within. If you're waiting for an apology, a final conversation, or some Hollywood movie moment to magically erase the pain, you might be waiting a long, long time. That's why I'm here today. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the steps you can take to find closure on your own terms. We're going to equip you with the tools to move forward without carrying the weight of emotional baggage, so you can finally step into the next chapter of your life, feeling strong, confident, and ready for an even more incredible love story. And by the way, if you're tired of dating men who leave you feeling confused, distant, or constantly wondering where you stand, there's something you need to check out. It's called How to Stop Men from Playing Games with You. You'll find the link in the description. Trust me, it will save you from a lot of unnecessary heartache on your journey to finding real love. Now let's get into it. The first and perhaps most crucial step to finding closure is accepting that it starts with you. This isn't about them, their actions, or their explanations anymore. This is about you reclaiming your power, your peace of mind, and your future. Closure is a decision, not a discussion. You don't need a perfectly scripted goodbye. You don't need them to finally see things from your perspective or acknowledge your pain. What you do need is to shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what happened, why it happened, and whose fault it was, turn your attention to what's next. Ask yourself some empowering questions. What lessons did this relationship teach me about myself, about love, about what I will and won't accept? What patterns do I see emerging in my relationships? And how can I break free from those that no longer serve me? What qualities and values do I want to carry into my next relationship? And how can I embody those more fully myself? This isn't about brushing your feelings under the rug or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging the pain, honoring your experience, and then choosing to see the bigger picture. When you can look back on your past relationship not as a tragic ending, but as a valuable lesson that brought you one step closer to the love you deserve, that's when true closure begins. Think of it this way. Every relationship, whether it lasts a lifetime or a season, comes into our lives for a reason. Some are meant to be our forever person, our happily ever after. Others, even the ones that end in heartbreak, are our greatest teachers. They show us what we want, what we don't want, and what we're truly capable of overcoming. Remember, dwelling on the past keeps you stuck there. Choosing to see the growth, the wisdom gained, and the strength you've discovered within yourself, that's what propels you forward. You are not defined by your breakups, but you can be made stronger by how you choose to heal from them. Now, I know a lot of you might be wondering about having the conversation. Should you try to have that final talk, that last goodbye? And my answer is, it depends. If your relationship was relatively healthy, respectful, and you genuinely believe a final conversation would bring you both a sense of peace, then yes, it can be helpful. But, and this is a big but, it has to be done the right way. First and foremost, be crystal clear and kind in your communication. This isn't the time for mixed signals, beating around the bush, or leaving the door open to interpretation. Acknowledge the good times you shared, the love you felt, but be firm and unwavering about the fact that the relationship is over. Secondly, and this is so important, do not go into the conversation seeking validation. You are not there to convince them of your worth, to make them feel guilty, or to get them to admit they made a mistake. Your closure doesn't depend on their reaction, their apology, or their understanding. You are strong and worthy of moving on, with or without their approval. However, let's be real for a moment. Sometimes, a final conversation isn't possible, nor is it healthy. If your relationship was toxic, manipulative, or emotionally draining, trying to have a clean break conversation can backfire. You might find yourself being pulled back into the same patterns of blame, guilt, or manipulation that kept you trapped in the first place. In these situations, sometimes the most powerful form of closure is walking away in silence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your peace of mind, your emotional well-being, or your future happiness. Remember, closure is about what's best for you, not about giving them another opportunity to hurt you or diminish your experience. Chapter 3. Give yourself space to heal. Let's talk about something that's absolutely essential for finding closure, but often gets overlooked: giving yourself space to heal. And I mean real, genuine space. One of the worst things you can do after a breakup is to torture yourself with constant reminders of your ex. We've all been there, scrolling through their social media, obsessing over their every post, trying to decipher cryptic messages that probably mean nothing. Or worse, orchestrating accidental run-ins, hoping they'll see how amazing you're doing without them. Here's the harsh reality: you can't heal when you're constantly reopening the wound. So, what's the solution? In the wise words of every self-respecting relationship guru, it's time to block, mute, delete, whatever you need to do to create distance. Unfollow them, unfriend them, hide their friends' posts if you have to. And please, put those old text messages away. Stop rereading them, overanalyzing every word, and torturing yourself with what-ifs. This isn't about being petty or trying to win the breakup. This is about protecting your peace of mind, your emotional well-being, and your ability to move on. Think of it like this: if you had a physical injury, you wouldn't constantly pick at the scab and wonder why it wasn't healing. You'd keep it clean, protected, and give it the space it needs to mend. Emotional wounds are no different. And here's another crucial piece of advice: don't rush into a new relationship just to fill the void left by the last one. Rebound relationships rarely work out in the long run, and they often prevent you from doing the deeper healing work you need to attract a truly fulfilling and lasting love. Chapter 4. Redefine the story you tell yourself. One of the most challenging yet empowering parts of moving on is rewriting the narrative we tell ourselves about the relationship. It's so easy to get caught up in the what-ifs and the should-haves. Maybe you thought they were the one, the person you'd spend your life with. Maybe you convinced yourself that if you had just tried harder, loved them better, or changed this one thing about yourself, things would have been different. But here's the thing about those stories we tell ourselves: they're often based more on our interpretations and wishful thinking than on reality. We cling to these narratives because they give us a sense of control in a situation where we often feel powerless. But the truth is, the only thing we have control over is how we choose to perceive our experiences. You have the power to rewrite the story. Instead of viewing the relationship as a colossal failure, a waste of your precious time and energy, choose to see it as a stepping stone. Every relationship, even the ones that end in heartbreak, teaches us something valuable about ourselves, about love, and about what we truly want in a partner. Instead of telling yourself, "I wasted so much time," reframe it as, "I learned so much about myself and what I need to be happy." Instead of thinking, "I'll never find anyone like them," tell yourself, "I'm grateful for the experience and I'm excited to find someone who's even more right for me." And if you find yourself idealizing the past or romanticizing the relationship, remind yourself that no relationship is perfect. What you're remembering is the highlight reel, not the behind-the-scenes bloopers and outtakes. As they say in the movie 500 Days of Summer, just because she likes the same bizarro crap you do doesn't mean she's your soulmate. People come into our lives for a reason. Some are meant to stay, and others are meant to teach us something valuable and then move on. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see it yet. Outro final thoughts. Closure is a choice. At the end of the day, finding closure isn't about getting all the answers, tying everything up with a neat little bow, or having some profound epiphany. It's about making peace with the fact that some questions may never have answers, and that's okay. It's about accepting what happened, learning from the experience, and choosing to move forward with grace, strength, and an open heart. It's about knowing you gave your best, you learned your lesson, and you're ready for the next chapter. A chapter filled with love, joy, and genuine connection. So if you're sitting there waiting for an apology, for them to finally understand your pain, or for some big romantic gesture to give you permission to move on, stop waiting. You don't need them to close the chapter. You can do it right now, just by deciding to let go. And if you're ready to make better dating choices moving forward, don't miss out on How to Stop Men from Playing Games with You. It's the guide every woman should read before getting into another relationship. Link in description. You deserve real love, the kind that doesn't leave you questioning where you stand. So go claim it.